Guthrie kids, welcome to this week's tutorial on how to make a prayer book. Now, what is prayer? Well, just like we talk to our friends, our family about the things that we care about and things that are important to us, that's the same with God. We can talk to God about the things that are important to us and about things that might be worrying us or we might feel anxious about. We can ask His help for everything. And that is what prayer is. It's talking to God. The amazing thing about prayer is that God has promised that anyone who trusts in Him and prays to Him, He listens to them and He hears them. Isn't that amazing? The God who made the world, who is in charge of everything, wants you to talk to Him, to tell Him how you're feeling, what you're thinking, to ask Him for help with things that you find tricky. So I really hope that this prayer book will really help you in knowing what to say to God. Sometimes you might not know what to say to Him. Well, hopefully this prayer book will really help with guiding you on knowing how to pray. Now, I have used some ideas from this book called What Every Child Should Know About Prayer. It's written by Nancy Guthrie, and it's a fantastic book for children and families explaining what prayer is and why it is so fantastic. It takes us through examples of prayer in the Bible. It shows us how Jesus teaches us how to pray, and I'd really recommend this book. You'll be able to find it on websites like The Good Book Company or 10 of those online. I'll put the link in the description below for you to follow and place an order if you haven't got this book already. Now, this is my finished product of my prayer book, and this tutorial will hopefully give you some ideas of how you can create your own prayer book. Now, I've included writing and pictures in mine. Depending on how old you are, some of you might just want to draw pictures or use colours to remind you what to pray. Some of you might like to write down ideas. It's really up to you how you make your prayer book. But hopefully this tutorial will give you some ideas of how to get started. I hope you all enjoy. Bye! So first things first, you're going to want to get your 2 pieces of A4 paper and fold them in half. Once you've folded your 2 pieces of paper in half, you'll want to decorate the front of your prayer book. You can do this however you want. I'm going to write my name and I'm going to draw a little thought bubble on the front as well. Make sure you leave space on the left-hand side if you want to hole punch your prayer book. Or if you'd like to staple it, you're going to need to leave space on the side for that too. Once you've decorated the front of your prayer book, you're going to need a hole punch or a stapler to bind the book together. Now, don't worry if you don't have a hole punch or stapler at home. You can leave it folded in half. The book should keep its shape just fine. Now, I'm using a hole punch so I can thread some blue ribbon through my prayer book to bind it together. If you have ribbon or string at home, feel free to follow along with this step. But if you don't, just fold or staple your prayer book. That will work perfectly. If you're following along with me, just thread your ribbon or string through the holes that you've punched, just like this. once you've threaded that through, you can tie a double knot or a bow to secure the ribbon in place. Once your prayer book is secure, you're going to want to number each page of the book. So I'm putting numbers 1 to 6 on my prayer book. Now each page of this prayer book is going to have a different theme. On page 1, I'm going to write the word sorry. This is going to help me think of all the things I need to say sorry to God for. The idea of this book is to add prayers as you go along, so you don't need to write everything down at once. On the second page, I'm going to write down things I can say thank you to God for. On the third page, I'm going to write a list of other people that I could pray for. For example, this could be the doctors and nurses that are working really hard at the moment to keep people safe. Or it could be for friends at school or family members that we know. If you don't want to write down your prayers, why not draw the people that you'd like to pray for? On the fourth page, I'm going to make a list of the things that I can ask God. I've asked God to help me when I'm feeling anxious. Now I've left the final 2 pages to add doodles that help me talk to God about my thoughts and my feelings. I know for me, I find it really helpful to doodle or scribble if I'm feeling upset. Or maybe I'm feeling angry and frustrated and I just need to scribble on the paper. This is what these pages are for. Or perhaps I'm feeling happy. When I draw, I can also talk to God at the same time, and I know that He is listening to me and that He will help me. Of course, it's really important to talk to grown-ups at home about how we feel, but maybe sometimes we don't know how we feel, and it's helpful just to draw or write things down. God, I'm so glad I can be honest with you about how I really feel. And that is the prayer book nearly finished. This book is a work in progress, which means you don't need to finish it all at once. I like going back and looking at my prayers and seeing how God has answered them and helped me. Finally, I'm going to add some colour to the front of my prayer book. I'm using the rubber on the end of my pencil to rub out any of the pencil markings that are left behind. And that is the prayer book all finished for now. I hope you enjoy making your own.